So, guys, check it out. See what's behind me, right? We finally got something in the shop that we want to work on. That's kind of key. And that's what we're going to talk about this week on your Tuesday morning tech tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. Now, I don't mean to say that like I didn't like working on anything I've been working on, because that's not true. Um, I like working on Jesse's bike. Working on Harleys is fun. Like working on a Jeep. I always like working on a Jeep. But that caddy, it. I liked being done working on it. If that does that help? You guys saw me get frustrated time and time again with that car, and it's just because it's. Now I get it. I'm going to say something and you're not going to understand, but it's a newer car. So yeah, it's a '98. So a lot of people watching this are like, '98, bro, for real? That's 20, 25 years ago. That's not new. It's new to me. Okay. If it's fuel injected, it's new. That's just how I look at it. Really, guys, I cannot stand. I mean, there's some cool cars. Don't get me wrong. I had a 5-liter Mustang. It was a '90. That was the most fun car I've ever owned. Actually, to drive that, I drove it every day, and it was a ton of fun. And if the prices weren't ridiculous, I'd probably buy another one. And there's a couple of '80s cars. Like I love G bodies, right? I mean, who doesn't love a nice G body? There's maybe a couple others, not a whole lot, guys. I mean, there's G bodies. That's probably I can't. Well, you know what? Take that back, because I do like that truck. That's an '86. But like I said, guys, these are very specific. Yeah, that's the right one. Of examples of cars that I do like that are a little bit newer. Otherwise, guys, you see what I got right here. This is the next newest one, right? It's a '77. I got '50s and '60s, '40s. It's just that's what I like, and because it's simple, and you can actually use your brain and actually be a mechanic and understand how things work, and it doesn't have a computer telling you, right? That's guys. I know there's some good things about computers. I get it. I mean, I'm using one right now, right? You guys are probably watching this on a computer of some sort. So to say I don't like them wouldn't be very, very smart thing to do. But guys, I don't like them in my cars. You know what I'm saying? So when you're starting to mess with all that kind of stuff is when it's just like, ugh. And it just gets frustrating. I figured it out, guys. Stop giving us stuff we don't need. That's what I don't like about new cars. I don't need a sensor telling me that my tire's low. I can go ahead. I got one right here, guys. I can check that. Don't need your sensor. I don't need a sensor telling me that my brake fluid's low, because I can pop the hood and look. I don't need these things. That's what drives me crazy. And because we put all this stuff on these cars, right? People don't like, even people that don't care about cars. Back in the day, they knew a little something about them because they had to if they want to drive. You had to know, like, check your oil, tire pressure, put gas in it, that kind of stuff. Well, maybe not put gas because they have full service, but story for another time. Now, people don't know nothing. They're like, oh, there's a light on the dash. I got to do something with it, right? And more times than not, as those cars get older, those systems don't work no more, right? So now you got a light on the dash, and it just pisses you off, and you throw everything at the car trying to fix. I know. I'm going to try not to repeat last week's tech tip, but it's true, which is why I love working on these cars. Even into the 80s, and I say that because there were some vehicles like my Jeep's in '89. It doesn't have all these extra little, and it was a limited, right? So it's got leather and power this and that and everything else. But they built those things. The Jeeps, the XJs, the YJs, they're kind of built like older cars. They're similar like the OBS Chevy trucks. I love those, and they're simple, and that's what I like is the simplicity, right? If you're trying to rebuild something, and for me anyways, I know you can go and rebuild anything, right? I mean, you can find parts for, well, that's another thing. Try not to get on last week's tech tip. But seriously, guys, the simplicity. That's what I love about them. And there's room, right? Everything's not crammed in. You can get here and work on it. The metal's thicker. Everything's a little bit tougher. There's more style. There's all these things, right? And that's it. It's less frustrating to work on. And not for nothing, I like them better, right? So if you're working on something that you like, how's that saying go? Like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? Same thing. I'm down here working on this guy, or anything in the shop right now for that matter, and I'm having fun. You know, I'm actually relaxing. And there's times that we'll all get a little frustrated. I got it. But when that caddy was in here, I was frustrated, and there might have been times that I wasn't, but not many. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't want to force yourself, right? This is a hobby. I don't do this for a living, right? You guys know that. You know, I'm an aircraft mechanic by trade, and fun fact, I couldn't care less about airplanes. I'm not that guy. I don't go to air shows. I don't go to air museums. I just don't care, right? I learned how to do it in the Navy, and I was pretty good at it, and I got a job outside the Navy doing it now, and that's what we do, right? So there's that. I don't hate it. Like, I don't, every day I go to work, but I'd much rather be down here working on something like this. But nobody's going to pay me to fix my own car. That's how that goes, right? So, and I don't really like working on other people's stuff either. So that's another thing, you know? So for me to come down here, work on this car, and make it exactly like my vision, right? I love it, right? And I'll be down here forever, you know, hot, cold, rain, sleet, snow, whatever, like a mailman. I'm over here, no matter what, happy to work on it. It's not the case if you're working on something you don't love. So that's like, kind of, some people settle for a project, right? What I've done, I've taken on things, and you guys have seen it, that I wasn't in love with. And not just, I'm going to stop bagging on the kid's car, because the kid absolutely loves that Cadillac. I like to see him happy. That's how that, you know, father-son thing works, right? So I try to, I know he loves the car. That's what it is. So I don't mind. I get aggravated working on it, but when I see him enjoying the car, I'm happy, you know? But it's just more fun to bitch about it, you know? But like, I had that Oldsmobile. Guys, I couldn't care less about a four-door Oldsmobile. But it was a clean car. And that's where it kind of gets a little weird, right? Because I like saving things that other people would like. Like, you know, the guy come down and bought the car. He loved it. Same with the Nissan. Not like my bag, but, Raekwon loves the truck. He still loves it. You know, every now and then I'll see him on Facebook or something like that. And last I saw he had a little transmission issue, but part of it, right? Part of hot rodding. He loves the truck, and he's like, "Yep, saving money to fix it, and I'm gonna get back at it," and that's awesome. So it's cool that I was able to find that truck, fix it up enough that he loved it, and then he carries on. But I think that's the key, guys. Is I don't know when to stop sometimes, right? Like, I kept going with that one. I kept doing the same thing with the Oldsmobile. And guys, I started chasing my tail on the Caddy, but the kid's like, "Dad, I'm not worried about the light," you know? And I'm like, "I'm worried about that light." So I don't know. I'm my own worst enemy? Maybe that's what I'm saying? Or maybe I should just work on stuff I like. So, I don't know. Hopefully, going forward, I'm going to screw things up, and I'm going to learn some stuff. You know, you guys know that. And that's cool, and I'll pass along to you here. But I don't foresee me getting frustrated like I did with, hey, knock on wood, right? But yeah, I don't see me getting like, guys, I didn't film a lot of it. And I was irate down here. To where I'm like, why am I even doing this? I want to, get rid of everything. But the problem was, I wasn't working on what I love. And I knew it. We've had this conversation. So I didn't take my own advice. And that's what I'm doing. I still got a couple things to take care of on the Caddy. It's sitting right outside the shop. And nothing major. Just a couple little things to take care of. And then, he's back driving it again. But until I get to those things, because guys, you got to know when to stop. I texted Jay, and I told him what was still going on with the car. He texted me back, just walk away, my friend. You know, and he was right, and I already did, right? I knew that, but and I say I say all the time, take a break. Maybe a little bit longer than 5 minutes, because I'm impatient, right? So I want to get back after it. But it's a lot of guys. I fixed a lot of stuff in that car, so we're good. I'll leave it out there. We're gonna not just fix things on this. We're gonna make this what we want it, and that's what it's all about. That's what hot rodding is all about, right there. You know, I've said it a million times. I'm gonna say it again. If you want to have the coolest car in the parking lot, you better be ready to put in some work. Let's get to it. Thanks for watching, guys.